It is August 29th, which is the day the de minimis exemption is ending here in the United States. So that means if you are ordering a package from abroad, including barefoot shoes, you may be responsible for a tariff. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty for both the consumers, the brands, and the shipping companies. So I just wanted to go over some of the different scenarios and sort of give you a heads up on what to look out for. So before the end of the de minimis exemption, if I as a consumer ordered barefoot shoes and my order was less than $800, I wouldn't have been charged any sort of import tax. So that was nice. Now things are changing, and if you are individually ordered from a brand, you're going to be responsible for that. So in this first sort of scenario, I'm going to be talking about EU-based brands that you can buy directly from. So they're still direct to consumer. How the brand handles this is going to be sort of up to them. I saw recently that Fieldgrounds posted that they are going to be doing DDP, or delivered duties paid. That means when you go through your checkout process to order a new pair of Fieldgrounds, it's going to include the price of the shoe, the shipping cost, and it's going to have the duty cost too, and then the total line, and then you pay. So that means when the shoes are delivered, you don't have to pay anything else. I went through that for a pair of their original sneakers, which are $109. It was going to charge me $17 for shipping and about $35 for the duty or the tariff. So I don't know exactly how they're calculating that, because for the EU it's supposed to be a 15% tariff, but I think there's like other fees involved. So that's what it came out to. So like on a basically $110 shoe, it was $35 in additional taxes, which obviously isn't great news, but at least you have the heads up on that before you order. The other option is that a brand doesn't charge you that tariff up front, and that you as a consumer are going to be responsible for that when it's delivered. If you're going through checkout and you are not seeing that duty or tax line, just know that you're going to be responsible for that later. And it could depend on who they're using for shipping. Some might contact you ahead of time and ask you to pay the tariff. Some shipping companies might deliver the package and then send you a bill for it later. So that's where there might be a lot more uncertainty on how much is the tariff, how much, when are you going to have to pay it, stuff like that. So just look before you order what the brand says about what they're doing, about how they're addressing it. Are they trying to collect the duty ahead of time, or are they just leaving that all up to you? And this scenario is where you're going to likely be paying the highest tariff, because you are paying on that total retail value. So like for the Fieldgrounds, you are going to be paying on that $109. The other option is companies that are based outside the US, maybe the EU, but they've established some sort of like shipping facility here. And that is brands like Wildling, Vivo Barefoot, and more recently Groundy's US. So they had to pay the import tariff when they brought their product into the United States. The good-ish thing about that is they paid that based on their cost basis. So if the shoe was, you're paying $100 for the shoe, that's not what they're paying the tariff on. Maybe the shoe cost them $30 to make, so that's what they're paying on. So hopefully there we see less of a price increase. For the next category are US-based brands that manufacture outside the United States. So that's really similar to the last category, and the same thing where the brand is going to be responsible for the tariff when they import their product into the United States. So we have shoes like Tolos, Minimals, Origo, Lems. Again, you are not going to be responsible for that tariff directly, as the brand will have already paid it when they brought their product into the United States. And again, hopefully we're seeing less of a price jump on those, because they're doing that based on their cost basis, not on that total retail price. And then next we have US-based brands that are actually manufactured in the United States. There's not a ton of them still. A lot of them are sandal brands, like you have this Wild Stride, and then you have a lot of the hiking running sandals like Shama and Earth Runners, and then you have Soft Star. So if they're getting any materials from outside the United States, obviously they're gonna have to start paying import tariffs on that. But hopefully, again, there's not a huge jump in price where it's less of an impact to their total cost. So I hope that breakdown helped a little bit. I have a blog post, and I'll include some of the breakouts of where the companies are based and where they're shipping from. But for sure, if you are ordering from a brand that is not based and shipped from the United States, then definitely look to see if they're charging you a tariff on checkout. And if not, know that you are going to be responsible for that, just so it's not a total surprise. But yeah, I hope that helps.